What is up, Star Seeds? It's Sid, and today I have a really important video that I have been debating for a few months whether I should make or not, after having a few different prophetic or psychic dreams, as I call them. So I guess really quick, I want to explain the difference between a regular dream and a psychic dream and a lucid dream. They're all different things. So regular dreams, you just kind of dream and it happens, and it might not mean anything. It might have little snippets of meaning for you, and you can't control it. Lucid dreams, you can kind of control what's happening in your dreams. And a prophetic or a psychic dream, or a mediumship dream, is when either someone that has passed away that you love, or just something happens in your dream that you know is a message, and it's just undeniable that this dream means something very important. If you wake up after having it in the middle of the night, you have to write it down, either just on a piece of paper or you have to put something in your phone. Like, it's very important, and you know it while you're dreaming, and as soon as you wake up, you know that you had this very important dream. You don't remember it hours later, you remember it right away, and it just even feels kind of important when you're having the dream, even though you have no control over it when it's happening. Okay, so just to clear that up. And a few months ago, I'm going to kind of give you guys a backstory on why this is so important. In my dream a few months ago, this was actually right after Joe Biden became president, and I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but when I tell you what happened after I woke up, maybe you'll think that's kind of fishy. So here we go. My son was really young when I had this dream. Like I said, it was a few months ago. And in my dream, I said, "This is a warning." So, sorry, even more further backstory. My whole life, I've had dreams where I go to turn on a light switch in the dream, and it doesn't work, and the lights won't turn on, either in my childhood home or in places that I have never been that are really creepy looking, with like lots of wood, if that makes any difference. So anyways, in this dream, the lights wouldn't turn on, and there were some other weird things happening, and it just felt like an apocalypse or something was happening in this dream. It was a very weird feeling. I don't want to get into all of the details. There was just a lot going on in it, but the most important part of this dream was how I felt. And I'm very interested in dream analysis, especially because I don't really have any normal dreams. The only dreams I've had that are common for people are, I don't know if other people have dreams of the light switch not working or teeth falling out, but those are the only like normal dreams I have. My dreams are really out there, really wild, really crazy, but the most important thing in dream analysis is realizing how you feel about certain things. If there's someone in your dream, even like someone famous or just someone that you know, maybe from school, work, whatever, how does that person make you feel? What do you think of when you think of that person? Same things with just things going on in your dreams. How do lights make you feel? What do lights symbolize? Well, they're things that, you can take for granted, and you're just used to them working, and, a company runs them. They provide the electricity, but it's just something that you're always used to having. So if it suddenly doesn't work anymore, it symbolizes something you're used to not being there. Anyways, same thing with people. Like if someone's in a position of power, that's what that means in the dream. If it's someone you don't like, that's what it means. So that's how you interpret it. It's not necessarily, oh, this girl from this grade in this class. It's someone you feel this way about, right? So anyways, the light switch didn't work in this first dream I have out of these series of dreams. And I'm not going to go really into depth on all the details in them, but I just want to give this kind of overview because I do feel that it's important. So anyways, I said in the dream, "This is a warning." Because this dream, I knew when I said that it was a psychic dream. and there wasn't really anything I could do about it. It wasn't a lucid dream, it was just happening. I felt out of control, and it was this apocalyptic situation. And I was in my childhood home, but it looked different too. Like, it felt like there was kind of like a wall missing and we were exposed or something. And outside of the home was just chaotic. So it was this apocalyptic situation. And I said, this is a warning. In my dream, I woke up. I was still sleeping. I have never in my life had another dream like this, ever. And when I woke up still dreaming, I told my family I just had a warning dream. And then a while after that, I actually woke up. And I went to check my phone to see what time it is, and really just to write this down in my notes so I wouldn't forget it, because I could not go to sleep unless I wrote down certain like survival things that I needed to get or make sure that I knew because of this dream. Like, that's how intense it was. That's how prophetic this dream was, that I needed to like start working on my prepper stuff. So I went to write this down in my notes, and when I grabbed my phone, it says hello on it. I have an iPhone, and it was like it was a brand new phone. Like, it had completely, I had never seen this before except when I got the phone new years ago. That really creeped me out. I entered my password, it turned on, all was pretty much normal. It just said that it had done this update, and I did not consent for this update to happen. I thought it was really weird that we had a new president just come into office. I thought it was really weird that I had just had this dream, and then I go on my phone and it's all restarted. You know, how creepy is that? So the next morning, I asked my friends if that had happened to them, and I went into my settings and changed some things so it couldn't do that without my consent ever again, because it had never done that before. And I know in my settings that I had it set so it couldn't do that without asking me first. But somehow the settings wasn't turned on like that, and it did that. Changed things with my location. It was so creepy. Anyways, that's just some back information. So I had a few other dreams like this that were a bit different, a bit more structured around lots of citizens being in this environment, really kind of trapped. Because there was this situation going on outside of us, and some organization, possibly the government, was really just kind of like holding us here and trying to have us do certain things and just having us not focus on what was going on outside and still trying to control us. And in all of these dreams that I had that were like this, I was eventually, throughout the dream, kind of singled out with some other people that are very important to me. So they were pretty scary. And this is not supposed to be a fear-based video whatsoever. Okay, you should not be scared of what is most likely to come in the future. You should be excited about it. Okay, do not be scared about this. This isn't a bad thing. There might be things that you interpret as negative along the way, but it is meant for a beautiful outcome, so you should really be excited about this. I feel like this is inevitable, and you might be wondering, what is this? What's going to happen? Are we going to lose power? Is there going to be some weird zombie apocalypse? Like, what is this? What are you preparing for? So there's a few different possibilities, and the answer might be all of the above. We might lose power, but that in and of itself isn't a huge emergency. It is for places like hospitals and things like that. They need power, right? But this could be a loss of power. It could be natural disasters. That's a big reason. A lot of people who are not into like this woo-woo possible apocalyptic, the event situation, there's, firefighters and just people who are a part of industries like that, who know how powerful natural disasters are and how catastrophic they can be. So they have food stocked up. They have their survival, on the go bag. They've got a tent and things like that. And I think that's very important. So the answer as to what I think we should prepare for, everything and anything, but it can't be out of fear. It has to be out of excitement, if that makes sense, and if that's even possible for you. It should just be a natural thing. I feel like in the olden days, our grandparents, they had food stocked up, some of them, not all of them for sure, but they had plans set in place back before we had phones. What happened if Johnny broke his leg, you know? There was plans set in place for just all types of situations, and I think that's really important. And with this COVID going on, anything is possible. There is a pandemic right now. There could be a worse pandemic going on. There could be a pandemic and natural disasters and like the government collapsing, a whole system collapse, a currency collapse. There could be a number of situations that are to come in the next several years. I'm not saying this is going to happen next week or next month or next year. And I know that that's like, oh, a psychic prediction that's years down the line. Another one of those, great. But I'm telling you this because I cannot be selfish and I cannot keep this to myself. I have been debating whether or not I should share this, and the answer is without a doubt, yes, I should, because I keep having these dreams and these messages come through after the dreams, and I know that I'm meant to share it at this point. So I'm going to tell you what just kind of sparked this video, the latest thing that happened not last night, but the night before, and then yesterday morning after I woke up. So it seemed like a pretty regular dream at first. I also have a lot of dreams of being in a school setting, and I was in a school setting and my 8th grade history teacher was there. And a little background information on how I think of her. I really like her. She's someone I trust. She's a teacher I trust and I know kind of has my best interest at heart, and we had this little secret, not secret, but it was just our little thing. So on tests, she would always have an extra credit question written on the board. And one time, I think it was like our first test or one of the first ones, and I didn't know the answer, so I just put Guadalupe because I was in 8th grade, okay? I don't know why. I just put Guadalupe. I thought it was a cool name, cool word. Anyways, so then I just kind of kept doing that. After every test, it became my thing. And if I knew the answer, I would put the right answer and Guadalupe, or Guadalupe and the right answer. And she thought it was so funny and just random because it was some random thing that I did in 8th grade for some reason. So after a couple times of doing that, she created a extra credit question, and the answer was Guadalupe. She knew what she was doing. I knew what she was doing, right? So I put Guadalupe, and, I got it right. And, she did that as just kind of a thing for me, and we thought it was funny, we thought it was cool. I thought it was nice that she did that. So she's just someone, that's how I think of her, okay? When I think of her, that's, the main thing I think of, right? And so in my dream, I thought it was weird that she was, my teacher, and I was in this classroom, and she had all of these pages of work for me to do. I felt like I had missed a lot of school, and I was trying to catch up on school for some reason. I've been out of school for a few years now, so it's weird that I still have these school dreams. But anyway, I felt like I had missed a lot of time because I had a baby, so I had this work to catch up on. But the only work packet I remember was about this tent. It was fill out this information about your tent as if every student had a different tent that they got, and it was asking me specific questions about the safety and just kind of the overall survival ready of the tent that I had. And so I knew in my dream, I was like, oh, I don't know a lot about this tent that I'm getting. I don't know what material the top of it is. And there was all of these specific questions about this tent, but I knew that there was something important about this tent, but not just the tent. But what does the tent mean to me? It means survival. It means not just the tent, but the survival, on the go backpack. It means all of these things I need to prepare for. I knew it was a part of these prophetic dreams. So I didn't remember much else of the dream, but I just remembered, Miss So-and-so in the tent, and I need to prepare and get my tent. I need to find out facts about my tent and all this stuff. So I woke up and I wrote this down in my notes so I wouldn't forget. And then in the morning when I woke up, I felt the need to break out my Native American tarot card deck, which was my first deck. I had it for a couple years before getting any other deck, so I feel very connected to this deck. And I don't do tarot cards very often. I know I have a lot of videos, not a lot, but I have a few videos on tarot cards, but I don't use them every day. I don't use them every week. I don't use them every month. I just use them when I feel called to, and I felt really called to yesterday morning, so I did. And I just got the message that, yes, that dream was about some, fiery event that's going to happen, but it's going to lead to a breakthrough, and it's going to be amazing. Okay? So I felt the need to share this message. That's the background information on how I have this truth to me. I know this is a huge possibility. I don't believe in time. I don't believe in the future. I believe in free will, and I believe we have a choice, and the future is not set, even if it exists. It's easier to say that there's a past and a future because of our little human brains. So let's just go with that for now and say that the future is not fixed, okay? We have free will, we have a choice, and the future is always changing, even though time isn't really real. Anyways, we do have time to prepare for this. I think there's lots of different ways that this could go, but this is happening. I'm 95 to 99% sure that this event, this thing, I don't like when people always use the word event in the spiritual community, but this thing is happening, and it's quite apocalyptic. And if you think about it, in the media, in movies, in TV shows, it's glamorized for one, but we're manifesting it, and it seems pretty much inevitable at this point, because why are we having, all of these movies and shows about this apocalypse situation or natural disasters or just surviving in these weird situations? It's happening. We're manifesting it. We're thinking it. We're creating it in our film. It's going to manifest in the physical in our real lives some point pretty soon in the future. And I think it's important over these next few years to prepare. So I think it is important that I do this video and tell you guys that I do recommend preparing for some form of natural or man-made disaster. So what does that mean? Well, I have a list, and I guess I'm going to read it off now. And it's just basic things. You can watch other videos on this. I'm not a survivalist. I would love to be. That would be super cool. And I think it's going to be one of my really big passions moving forward. But over the past few months, I've been putting together, lists and things, because I think it's very important to have this stuff on paper or typed and printed, and maybe even laminated or put in a dry bag. So water can't get into it. I think it's important to put, a map or directions or instructions to things that you might not remember how to do unless you had it written down for you. Recipes. You gotta always have a good ranch recipe. I'm from Michigan. I need my ranch. My barbecue sauce. I need all the sauces. But you need things like that. You don't need them, but it would be helpful. So I'm starting to do this, and I really like it. And I recommend it. And if you're a grocery store go-toer, then grab some extra stuff. I think you should always get what you eat and eat what you get, if that makes sense. I think I heard this in another video, okay? And if I remember who it is, I'll put them in the description. But I watched a few prepper videos after that first prophetic dream, because I woke up in the middle of the night and I'm writing I need a big pot to cook food in over the fire. I'm writing all these things that I want for my birthday and Christmas, and oh my gosh, I think it's good to have that stuff though, but only get it if you're actually going to use it. Don't go out and get canned food that you don't like. Don't get tuna if you don't like tuna. Only get what you're going to eat, and then eat it as you go. So don't get so much that it's going to go bad before you can eat it. You know what I mean? Be smart with it. have a rotation. If you're someone who grows your own food or goes to local farmers markets, I like you. I like all you guys, but I love all you guys, but that's cool. I like that too. I love that. Anyways, so maybe can your own food and have some extras, like just kind of have the mindset, have the plan that you want some extras, you want some in your stash, you don't ever want to run out of certain things. And, like this whole COVID situation, what if we're in lockdown again, And it's not good to think about what if situations, but it also really is though. Just go at your own pace, make sure you're not doing this out of fear, make sure you're doing it out of excitement. Okay, I think that's the most important thing to take from this whole video. So anyways, obviously food and water. I think having a way to filter your water is the most important, because say you have to leave your house and be on the go, like in the movies or something, like we're manifesting this. So I think that is a definite possibility. Somehow, some way, it's going to manifest into the physical at some point. So I think having a bunch of little survival things in like a little on-the-go backpack or a big on-the-go backpack, whatever you can carry long distances. You're not going to carry gallons and gallons of water. That's not realistic. You're going to run out at some point. You need a way to filter water because, hey, there's lakes, there's streams, there's rain, there's water on this planet. So there's no need to carry a bunch of it. You can carry a water bottle and a way to filter water that's much more realistic and sustainable and just overall smarter, right? So things like toilet paper or wet wipes or towels or, hey, leaves, let's be eco-friendly, right? Or like a camping toilet, like a 5-gallon bucket with a seat on it. That'd be nice, right? I'm all about eco-friendliness, but I also saw this like little hack where you can get kitty litter and put it over your poop when you go in the toilet and have like scented garbage bags, make it a little nicer, a little less rustic, Duct tape for all sorts of things. I'm just reading off my list now in no particular order. This is just how I wrote it on my list. So a light source, or just a fire source, things like lighters, matches, like storm-proof matches. Those are more expensive, but if they get wet, they'll still work, yada yada. Batteries, flashlights, the obvious, candles, once again, lighting, a compass and a map. And my just supernatural brain is like, but what if the magnetic field gets thrown off? What if the batteries for the flashlight won't work? What if our phones won't work? Like, you need things that don't involve technology at all, in my opinion. I think there's a good chance that phones won't work. Maybe you can use radios, maybe you can use batteries. Maybe they're all going to malfunction somehow. I don't know, but I think it's possible. So I think you should just be prepared if you like that idea, if you think it's exciting to be prepared for that. Okay, bleach, because cleaning, right? A mosquito head net, which you can use to like catch fish or can use for a bunch of other different things. I hate saying plastic bags and like garbage bags like that, like heavy duty ones, but that's on my list because it seems very useful, and in a survival situation, hey, okay. Tarps, for a lot of different things, making shelters, all that. But like a good tent would be nice, right? Some form of stove, whether that just be a fire or whatever, but they have some really nice, like stove type things, and I might be completely wrong, but I think you can use it as other things besides like a stove too. Like I think you might be able to use it as like a lantern, something like that, or just get, some propane, a lantern, lamp wicks, lamp oil, things like that. Table salt. This is kind of in the category of food, but I put it with like other things too, because yeah, you need it to survive, just like to have in your diet and in your body, but also witchy protection, right? Because in my survival backpack, I'll probably have my little travel deck of just playing cards and my astro dice and like some salts. Total side note. And then like seeds, because oh my gosh, I remember my first dream I had. I was like, I need grow lights, I need seeds, I need a big thing to cook food with. Like, what if we're inside? What if we're not outside? You just have to be prepared for all of these different scenarios. And I think having a big shelf, in your home with extra food, and then like maybe some food like the military has that are like, you know, sealed and like in a backpack, and some food like that would be useful. Just, you know, if you're in the home, if you're in a car, or if you're on foot, have options for a bunch of different scenarios. I think that would be useful. And then obviously things like medical supplies, okay, any medications you take, medical tape, gauze, things like that, some strong rope, because in every survival movie ever you save someone with rope. And then heavy duty gloves, socks, those are important. A whistle, if someone's close and you need to signal someone, like an auditory signal, a whistle, and then a visual signal. Something that's not green or brown or blends in with nature, like something like an orange smoke bomb or something. And like a multi-tool. So like a flathead, Phillips head screwdriver, can opener, knife, pliers. That's good. And then obviously food. You've probably heard rice and beans. Those stay good for a long time. Like I said, if you don't like beans, you don't like rice, maybe invest in something else. And eat what you get. Get what you eat. That's important. But look into food that stays good for a long time. You can get these storage bins. So whatever food you put in it will pretty much stay good for 30 years. But you have to seal it properly. And if you put something that goes bad quick in one of those, it's not going to stay good for that long. That's things to research. I don't want to preach what I don't practice. But that was like my little list. And I put some good foods on here. But, you know, maybe I'll do some other videos like this years down the line in the future, because I am really passionate about this. I didn't think this video was going to be so long, but I wanted to share parts of those dreams with you guys because they were warning messages, and I cannot just keep having these dreams month after month and not say anything about it. It's important. I think we all need to be prepared. I think you need to listen to yourself and trust your instincts, and do not be scared about this. It's inevitable. We're manifesting it. You are your thoughts. Your thoughts become your reality. So remember that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out my link in the description of this video, all of my links. Check out my other playlists as well if you're interested. Love and light, and the hybrid children are coming soon.